Tell me about it a little bit. How did it come to be? What germ was out there that created this piece in your head?
Well, I had two jobs. One was working in uh, a document processing center for a big financial um, institution. And then my other job was teaching music as an outreach teacher, as an Orff Schulwerk outreach teacher in public schools in New York City. So I was in New York City. My word processing job was in a building that was right next to the Southern Tower of the World Trade Center. And actually part of that Southern Tower, the first tower that was hit was the Northern Tower. The second tower was the Southern Tower, and part of the Southern Tower came through the building that I worked in.
Wow.
That's how close it was. So actually for anyone who's been to the memorial, the 9/11 memorial, there's a terrace on the south side of the memorial site, and that terrace was connected to the building that I worked in. It was on Liberty Street, and I used to go out on that terrace and have like dinner at night because I worked the night shift. So
Mm.
I was there from 4 in the afternoon till 2 in the morning. So the night before, the early morning before it happened, I had left at like 2:30 in the morning, and it was the next, and so went home and went to sleep, and then the phone started ringing, and I just kept hearing this ringing, and of people calling to find out if I was okay,
Yeah.
and then finally I heard. I picked up, and my husband said, or yeah, my husband. I mean, he wasn't my husband at that time, but anyway, he said, "Turn on the TV," and so so it was. Although I personally did not know anyone who perished in that attack, but um, it was very, very personal to me. It that it The buildings themselves have been part of my landscape, and my daily landscape, and for many years. And so not only because I worked there, but also I lived downtown, close to there for a long time, and partly because I process emotions through music, and so that's how it started happening. The seed of it was planted through those just through those images, and through all that. But one of the questions you asked is it meant to be programmatic or impressionistic? It's not meant to be programmatic. It's not meant to, for anyone who doesn't know what programmatic means, it's not meant to paint a musical picture of what happened. That's not what it's really meant to do. It was because I process emotions in my life experience through music. I just translate my life into music. It was more about bearing witness to something vast and tragic and overwhelming and incomprehensible at the time. And like I can't
Yeah,
actually,
yeah,
yeah, I can't actually talk about it because it's there really deep in me.
yes.
So the seed was planted when it happened, but then I couldn't, I started working on the piece and I couldn't go back to it. because I couldn't go back to that emotional space. It was still so overwhelming, and it's um even as someone who didn't personally experience, I mean, who didn't experience a personal loss, the act of bearing witness is just a heavy weight and emotional weight. And I had to get to a place where I could reconcile that. And so, even though it started in 2001, after, I didn't finish writing it until I moved out of the city and moved upstate New York. And I didn't finish it till 2004.
How would you, if I want to be an active listener, how would you tell me that I should approach your piece in order to get the most out of it orally, like just on a first listen?
Just open your heart and mind. Really, just don't look for anything programmatic. Um, I find I think most of my music I would describe as a journey, like you said, time-bound art. It's a journey, and just enter the journey and go along with it. Is the best way. And I have to say that I'm not a big fan of program notes, and especially I think program notes, like when you have an audience reading program notes. I don't know whether you've ever had this experience. I'd be very surprised if you didn't. But if you've ever tried to talk to somebody when they're looking at their screen or reading something, they don't hear you. So this is another thing. I agree. I don't want to prescribe, even though this piece was started from this event. It's not necessarily meant to be tied into this event forever. I mean, my music is kind of what I want my music to be is like gateways, like emotional gateways to emotion. And if someone, I had a friend who did pieces that she said were inspired by nature, and the titles would be very specific. And you felt like if you didn't, as an audience member, if you didn't see the places she was writing about that she had titled,
Yeah.
it was like, I'm not getting it. Why am I not getting it? But I think it's enough just to tap into just generally my music. I feel like I want to tap into this kind of primal channel of emotions that's pre-verbal, before language, that's in not there are emotions that are complex and maybe not describable through language.
Hmm.
They go into a different part of your brain,
Yeah.
and um, and that's why a lot of like music transcends things like dementia. um, People hold on to music when they've lost language, because music resides in a different part of your brain. And I feel that there are elements of music that tap into emotions in a way that hardly anything else does.